you're welcome to another section of our Monday Momentum. Hope you're having a great week already. So, today's topic is actually a very interesting one. So, it's more like a weighing balance. So, we're going to be weighing motivation and discipline, right? So, it's more like you should stop being motivated and start being disciplined. Now, let's be honest, right? How many of us have ever woken up sometime, like you've woken up in the morning and you're like, I don't feel like getting out of my bed today. I don't feel like doing this today. Maybe when you were a student, you were like, I don't feel like going for lectures today. I don't feel like writing an exam today. Or you're a business person and you're like, I don't feel like going to my office today. I don't feel like going to the shop today. I just don't feel like doing it. If you've ever been in that situation, just say yes in the comment section. I've been there. So moments like that happen a lot to us. Like you just don't feel like doing anything. It does happen. It does happen a lot. Okay, someone mentioned that she can't see me. Can everyone see me? Can everyone see me? Please, if you can see me, indicate clearly so that we can kick off. Okay. Yes, I can. Thank you, please. Okay. So, like I said, it happens to us once in a while, right? And you just don't feel like doing anything. Now that's what being motivated feels like. Motivation is a fleeting feeling, like it's fleeting. It's usually very fleeting. Like you feel like this way, you don't feel like this the other day. You don't always have all your feelings put together every single time. So for me, I usually say this, right? That if you're someone who has built his life or her life on how he or she feels, you're going to be very inconsistent. Because I mean your feelings are not they're not consistent. So you can't build your life on how you feel. You can't build your decisions or your future on how you feel. You'll be a very inconsistent person. Now that's why motivation fails. Motivation is inconsistent. It's a feeling that that is inconsistent. It's fleeting. You can't rely on it. You simply cannot rely on motivation. So that's why we usually say instead of feeling motivated, why don't you get to the level of being disciplined about something? Being disciplined, showing up when you don't even feel like it, being there when you don't feel like it, right? you know, think about earlier this year. How many of us said, "Oh wow, in January I'm going to hit the gym 3 times a day? Oh, sorry, 3 times a week or 4 times a week, and all that." And by February, March, you've already fallen out. If that's you, also say I've been there in the comment section. If any of this relates to you, whether it's a gym or you've made a decision and you didn't follow through, kindly indicate that in the comment section. No hard feelings, right? We are here to discuss this. Now, it happens a lot. That's where motivation actually, you know, that's the baseline for it. You feel like it, you don't feel like it. But discipline is showing up even when you don't feel like. So discipline is like that's self leadership, right? It's being able to lead yourself, being able to tell yourself to do what you have to do and when you have to do it, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how you feel per time. Because the truth is that if you look for excuses, you would find them. If you try to find excuses why you shouldn't do what you're supposed to do, you would find them. That's human. You would find those excuses easily, right? But when you decide that okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and you see through, you stay with that. Now another thing is when we talk about self discipline, which is also self leadership, we are talking about building structures, right? Building structures is actually very important because if you leave everything to chance, if you leave your life to chance, leave your life to how you feel or what you feel like doing at the time, you're not going to go far. And that's actually the sincere truth. So you have to build structures, you have to build systems that will help you. And that's why people set alarms. That's why people have to do tasks, to do lists. That's why people have trackers, different things that keep them in check. So, for example, if you're a praying person and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to wake up every morning to pray, I'm going to wake up every morning to do this, The truth is, if you don't put a structure to it, some days you wake up and you feel very cold and you're like, oh no, I want to hug my duvet. I don't think I can wake up by this time. You'll find yourself not waking up. But imagine that you set a time and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this by 5 o'clock a.m. every single day. So your alarm rings at that time and you decide that whether I feel like it or not, I'm going to get up and do it. That's what discipline does. So when you put structures to things that you do, you'll find out that you will be more effective in things. You will actually be more effective. So if you have any example you want to share with us, please feel free to share it in the comment section. So if you build structures in, structures around the things that you do, you find out that you actually be more effective than just being motivated, than just yielding to your feelings per time. Like I said, a man who builds his life, who builds his vision, who builds his purpose, who builds, business or anything about life based on how he feels per time, that man is going to be very inconsistent, very unreliable. But when you're disciplined, when you put structures, when you put systems, you find out that you're actually going to be a very consistent person and you're going to be very reliable. People can easily trust you. So now the question is, okay, how do I build discipline? But before I say how to build discipline, I need to also say this. I've heard people say things like there are some people that are just born into these things. Some people are just very focused, very resilient. They just get things done. They just do things the way they want, when they want to do it, and how they want to do it. But the truth is this, right? It's not always like that. Nobody was born with discipline inscribed on their faces. Discipline is actually something that can be built. It can be built. It's a skill that can be developed, that can be built. So it's something that you can give yourself to over and over again, till you get acquainted with it, till you structure your mind, yourself, your body, to align with it. So instead of making excuses that, oh, I'm not this way, I'm not that way, why not just start taking those steps? How do you build discipline? Start small, simple, small. Sometimes people just want to get that done immediately and all at once, but you don't need to. Start small, little, consistent steps, just little by little, day by day, bricks by bricks, you're building something, right? You're building, so you just start little, no matter how little it is. Don't wait for a perfect thing. Don't wait for a perfect start. Don't wait till it could actually be that you planned 5 times a week and you're doing it 3 times a week. That's fine. Start little. In our previous morning moment, we've actually discussed things like this, how small, consistent steps lead to bigger things. It usually has a ripple effect at the end of the day, right? So start little. Remove choices. The second way is to remove choices. Remove the ability to, just not necessarily just being harsh on yourself. No, you don't need to be harsh on yourself. You're only being gracious to your future self. You're only being gracious to the vision that you have in mind. You're only being gracious to yourself years down the line so that your future self will look back at your present day and say, thank you, you did well. So remove choices, remove excuses. It's very easy as humans for us to make excuses why we're not doing what we're meant to do. But if you can tell yourself no, no excuses, not harshness, but gracefulness to your future self, no excuses. With these structures I have, I can get this done. That's another way to build discipline. Now, another thing is to celebrate showing up. Celebrate every little win, no matter how little, no matter how insignificant it may be. Celebrate showing up. Show up nevertheless. It might be messy, it might be inconsistent, it might be insignificant, but just show up. That showing up is where conviction is built. That's also where you know commitment is built. Just show up. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to have it all together. Just show up. Tell yourself, I will show up regardless. I will show up regardless. I'm built for this, I'm meant for this, I will show up. So just show up. It goes a long way in building resilience in you, in building, discipline in you, in building commitment in you, in building loyalty, in you. So just learn to show up no matter what. Learn to show up. Now visualize the outcome. That's something I do for myself too. Like during our team's meeting, there was something I mentioned that I I used to procrastinate a lot, and part of that thing is lack of discipline. I mean, you're procrastinating a lot on what to do. But I actually sat down and I looked at my week, and I was like, now look at what inconsistency has done to you. Look at what, oh, you just feel motivated to do this now. Look at what it does. Like, okay, the way you work, you schedule post and all that. So you're just at the brink of, oh, I'm just going to make a post and you're just going to write it. I decided to visualize the outcome. If I'm able to be proactive, if I'm disciplined enough to get my post ready, get everything ready, the things I want to get done within the week, get them structured and ready, how will my week be? It will definitely be better. I will find myself more relaxed, more articulated to handle the things that come whichever way they come, right? So I visualized the outcome, and that gave me some level of momentum, to actually move forward and do the things that I had to do. And I must tell you, I started really well on a day like this today, that is Monday. And so that could actually be you. So I want you, nobody has said anything, so I want every single person, drop in the comment section, say something. What is that one thing you're committing to being disciplined about this week? It could be reading a book, it could be hitting the gym again, it could be praying, it could be anything really. So I want you to drop it in the comment section. What is one thing that you're going to be accountable to someone in this thing this week? You're going to be accountable to yourself this week to do that. You're deciding that you want to be disciplined about. You could be waking up at a certain time, you could be eating a certain kind of food. So I want you to praise everybody, Victor, Isaiah, I can see you all, Titu, Lyric. I want you to drop it in the comment section. Tell us one thing that you are going to be disciplined about this week. And if you're also watching this recap after now, feel free to also tell us in the comment section as you're watching one thing that you're going to be, giving to in terms of being disciplined about. What's one thing you're going to be disciplined about? What's one thing you're committing to doing? You just mention it, and in our community we tend to keep people accountable, so you can also feel free to join our community. If you're watching this recap on our YouTube channel, the link is going to be below, so you can join our community. In our community, you can hold you accountable with your decisions, your choices, and the things that you actually want to do, right? So I leave this with us today as we come up with the things that we want to be disciplined about. No man who builds his life based on how he feels. Like, no successful man has ever, you know, built their lives on, how he feels per time. The successful people that we know are people who built their lives based on structure, discipline, resilience, commitment and conviction. And this is what our Monday Momentum today is all about. We're encouraging you to build your life on discipline, build your life on what has structure and system, rather than what is fleeting, rather than emotions, rather than just anything that just comes by the way. So that's what I'm leaving you with today. Build your life on discipline. I've mentioned the things that you can, how to build discipline. I said start small, remove choices and stop making excuses. You can visualize your outcomes and celebrate your tiny show up, like just show up any which way. So I hope you learned something today. So let's go to the comment section. Okay, someone responded. Okay, she said, I'll be disciplined about my daily work and personal goals this week. Oh, that's awesome, Tutu. So she said she's going to be disciplined about her daily work and personal goals this week. Yeah, so you set personal goals. I also believe that you should set up structures, that will actually help you achieve these things. Set them up. Don't wait for that exact time to come. Set up these structures and find yourself doing them. All right, thank you. Any other person? Do we have let's look at them. Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Okay, as I said, I'll be explaining about my devotional life and planning ahead this week. Yes. So about that, you can choose a particular time. Always put a structure, like I said. Choose a particular time that you want to do it and block off that time. In our circle, we've also talked about time blocks. So right? Having time block. So you can block off that time and decide that, okay, every 6 o'clock I'm going to do this. So that will also help you to be disciplined and be able to clear your schedule for that particular purpose. So yeah, I'm planning your week ahead. Very, very important. So okay, so we've come to the end of our Monday momentum. To everyone who participated, to everyone who made out their time to be here with us today, we really do appreciate you. So thank you so much. I believe that you're going to have a blessed week ahead. Thank you. See you next week in our Monday momentum.
Thank you.